All right, it is False Move Monday, apparently. It is the Wolfer Power Hour. You know what time it is. Let's get into because at the end of the day, if you wanted to have known that this was about to happen, I literally alerted everyone. Comes back up. All right. See if the internet is working. Does the internet work? Can you hear me? Is everything Richard Four says he beat R. Gilbert here, and looks like the internet's working. In any case, if you wanted to know that this was going to be a false move Monday, if you wanted to know the 88, 87 range was going to be your short range, right? And you wanted to know where that would have gotten nullified, you should have been in the NORDIC Alpha private VIP trading room where I literally said this last night. Okay, I promise you. I also told everybody about gold being a potential top, and I'll show you the post here in just a second. I promise you. I talked about it last night. I talked about it this morning. Who in their right mind posts at 10:15 p.m. on Easter Sunday to let everybody know? Well, that was me. I did, right? If only we could get into this room, like Dexter says. Well, just so that everybody knows, if you look in the description of this video, I have put the link down there. You can get into this trading room right now if you would like to. It is $29 a month as it sits right now. This is like literally the first day that I've ever dropped the actual link for people to get in it. I'm now opening it. There's a couple of people that figured out a way to get in there and subscribe to it before I actually opened it. Good on them. they took the gains, man. They took the gains. So if you want to get into that trading room, all you got to do is literally look in the description of this video, and it is literally the first link. You can get discounts if you do 3 months at a time, 6 months at a time, and 12 months at a time. That's all I can do for you, man. This is the least expensive it's ever going to be. That's all I can tell you. R. Gilbert, I know for a fact that he's in there. I know for a fact that he bought the year subscription because he already knows that 3 months, 6 months from now, when there's hundreds of people in there, it ain't going to be $29 a month anymore, and you ain't going to be able to get 20% off anymore, right? So in any case, feel free to get on in there, and I will drop it. I know there's a lot of people on here from Twitter. I know there's like 24 Twitter people in here. So I will go ahead and just check the comments section, and I posted the link in there as well if you guys want to get in on it. So with all that being said, we did call this out yesterday. I will show it to you right now. And let me get some, sorry, I was too excited. Sorry if that blew your eardrums out. I forgot to turn the volume down. Let's get some feel-good techno in here. Let's just talk about it, all right? Let's get into it. All right, OBS, where are we at? Inside screen share. Boom, bam. All right. In any case, yesterday, 10:17 p.m., 10:17 Brick Squad. If you know anything about Gucci Mane, Waka Flocka, whatever, don't worry about it. 10:17 Brick Squad. Massive fair value gap from 86.6 down to 85.3, right? On the 1 hour chart with RSI near 80 range and the stochastics at 99 plus, 4 hour charts are overbought on the RSI as well. We have the 0.618, which is at the bottom end of that fair value gap, 85.3K. This is a good shorting opportunity here, scalp shorting opportunity. The key is to close the next candle, and I put a little chart down here, showed everybody a screenshot, as a small indecision candle or a doji star. Any move above 89K would get us out of the downtrend, nullify this move, and start us upwards, right? And, yep, that's that. And then guess what happened today? Boom. Dropped the video on it, talked about it even further, told everybody about this when Bitcoin was at 88K. Told everybody in this room about it when Bitcoin was at 88K. Go check the timestamp. Go check the timestamp. It was at noon, okay, Eastern time. And then dropped the screenshot. Hey, playing out pretty nicely. Locked in a little bit of profit. Still in the short. Bang, bang, boom. It is what it is. And if you don't believe me that I also posted all this stuff on gold as well, same thing here, baby. New all-time high on gold, bearish divergence. 12:19 a.m. this morning. Who's up at midnight on Easter Sunday doing this stuff besides D-dubs, the D-dubs, right? Shortable level of up to about $3,400. And even in my video, I went even further on into this. Stop losses above $3,500. Closed out my long at $3,420, and I shorted at an average of $3,425. And guess what? You still have the opportunity to do that. You're welcome, right? You're welcome. Okay. So with that being said, we'll see how it all goes. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin. All right. Let's get into the comments section really quick. See who is here. We got Richard 4. He says the internet's working. And Adrian Kent's here. He's throwing up the thumbs up. He's throwing the thumbs up. Everybody that wants to get into the VIP Discord, you already know what time it is. This is the trading room where we post literally everything that you could think of. All of the trades, all of the profits, all of the losses. I mean, you can scroll for days and days and days. I even show the losses, right? I even show the losses. As you can see, I still show my losses. I still show my wins. And bing, bang, boom, me and my guy, JP, in here, known better as the boss, the BOS. He does his Bitcoin TA as well. He does his altcoins, futures, Forex, and he posts his P&Ls too, baby. So it's not just me. There's a couple of people in here doing this thing. So if you want access to it, it's right in the comments section below for the people on Twitter. It's the very first link, and it's the very first link in the description. So for all the people that were asking for this for such a long time, since those people kind of figured out how to get their ways in there, I went ahead and opened it. And then anybody that wants to get it at the best price, obviously, this is the best price it's ever going to be. Price is never going to go down. It's only going to go up. We've got thoughts on Kaito, Kaito. If we could only get into it. Richard 4 said he held off until I actually released the date. Hey, Woods G Wood is on the drums. He's here. He says XRP. And just curious, what sites do you use for trading? Do you match your trades in an SD Roth? I do not. I do not have any type of retirement accounts. I am the retirement account, my man. I am the retirement account. That's what I tell my wife, too. She might not necessarily agree with that, but that is how it is right now. I have a lot more control over it here, too. And you can only put so much money. Like, if I want to put 60 grand into a Roth, you can't, right? But I can put 60 grand into a brokerage tomorrow, 5 minutes from now, right? So, yeah. See what we got. All right, let's do the top down on Bitcoin. Well, that Bitcoin, man, that big daddy Bitcoin, baby. Yeah, man, that Bitcoin, yeah. Let's go to the daily chart. We're going to see what's going on, man. All right. If you're here for the Gary Cardone impressions, you are in the right place because you will get Gary Cardone impressions here. All right, man. You're going to buy you some Bitcoin, man. Bitcoin. All right, so check it out. Rejection from the 200 moving average on the daily chart. If you're under this, it's not good news. You got to get above it, okay? You've also got the 100 trending down for a death cross on the 200 if price stays below these. Not good news. Rejection from the point of, or the value area high of this local range right here, right? From all the way from here, let me see. All the way from when we took the dump over to here, right? That's your local range. We blasted from the point of control, right? And bing, bang, boom. And actually, I told everybody about this. So did the boss. The boss actually told everybody about this too. I told everybody about this in my crypto TA section, right? And then I showed everybody as well, hey, you know, here's the short from earlier this week whenever we were talking about it. And, you know, nice little pump, 464 plus, you know, 752, talking 1,100 bucks or whatever, and then sold the bottom, and then you long the bottom, right? So you sell the bottom here, boom, you long it, bam. We broke out of the, as it sits right now, we are breaking out of this, what's it called? Falling wedge. Okay. So yeah, I mean, that's getting into some seriously high level education that I'm probably not going to have time to get into on this. There's a reason why, but Yeah, it's because it is that significant. It's definitely that significant, my man. This is a range. If you like, just take the FRVP off, right? Take the FRVP off. Does this look like a range to you, right? Right here? Yep. Just like this is a range, right? So you want to understand what the range is up here. What's the value area low? What's the point of control? What's the value area high? Same thing down here. You want to see what that local range is. And this is the range right here. Boom. From about here to here. That's where you broke out of your previous range. That's the high level overview of it. This was your range, right? This is where you broke out of your range. So now you're creating a new range, right? And that's why you want the FRVP, which is your fixed range volume profile, right? So that's why we pulled it from this fixed range. Boom, right over here, whenever we broke out of the previous range. Now, with that being said, we have broken out of the falling wedge, okay? And the falling wedge is a bullish pattern that breaks up, okay, and not down, okay, majority of the time. Now, with all of that being said, that's giving us a full measured move price target of $128,000, $128,000, wow, baby. Worst case scenario, say you get 75% of the measured move. Let's look at it. Where's my measuring tool? Where's my handy dandy measuring tool? Okay, so that is what, 50% move up. So you're looking at about 12.5%, so 37.5. $117,000 is where your measured move is. $117,000, 75% of the measured move. That's where we could be going if this breakout does indeed confirm. Now, if you've been watching my channel for long enough, you know that this is not confirmed, okay? Especially now that we have rejected from the 200, rejected from the value area high, and the 100 is trickling downwards towards the 200 for another death cross, right? Now, we have regained the 50 on the daily chart. That's perfectly fine. But here's the problem. You have to get you have to close this candle green still, right? And not get back under about $85,000 today, which I don't think we're going to get under $85,000 a day. You're probably good, right? Secondarily, you have to get a second candle over here that closes above whatever the close of this candle is. So that means either tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day, whenever, you have to close a candle above the close of this candle to confirm this move without getting back under this line and closing a candle under this line, okay? Now, close a candle under this line, you reset everything, all right? So my bias is you're probably going to retrace back to the point of control, and if that's the bounce point, then that's the bounce point. Great. That's probably $84,000, somewhere in that realm, right? And we've got other things to back that up, all right? So in any case, that's kind of what we're seeing right now. And if you look, you can see that the 50 moving average is still curling down, but if it starts to curl up, it's going to be support right here at that value or at that point of control, okay? So that's great. Okay, let's go to the weekly just really quick, and I'll show you what's going on the weekly chart, okay? So as you can see, the weekly also has broken out, confirmed no, but broken out. It does have its breakout candle as it sits right here. Now, we did bounce off of the 50 moving average, okay, so that's good. This will be a key level of support from here on out, and it'll probably be support at about $80,500, okay? So just keep in mind $84,000 and then $80,500. That's the daily, and then the weekly supports, okay, is what you're going to be looking at. Now, your resistance is obviously your $89,000 range, right? Because you need to break above these previous swing highs right here. Now, let's look at the oscillators, see if the oscillators are oscillating. So as you can see, we are moving up on the stochastic RSIs, right? But we do have the signal line getting ready to get hit, okay, either this week or next week. And if you get a rejection there, it's bad news. It's bad news, okay, because you are trending down on the RSI. As you can see, trending down, right? And you're setting lower lows here. See what I'm saying? Trending down, okay? So you got to turn this around. Now, you did print a green dot on Market Cipher, and this did curl, okay? This is a trigger wave, okay? And then VWAP crossed to the upside. Now, what you need to see is money flow curling up, okay? And if that happens, that's where bull run starts, okay? That is where bull run starts, and we go over all this stuff in the premium VIP trading room inside of Nordic Alpha. And if you want to get into the nitty gritty, that's where we do it. Okay. So make sure you get into that community. It's literally the first link in the description and on YouTube. And it's the first link on the Twitter whatever comments section or whatever it is. Now I want to get down to the 4-hour chart and show you what's going on down there. Okay. So let's get on to the 4-hour. Why is this doing all this crazy stuff? Okay. Let's get these oscillators off of here first and foremost. Okay. So I got to pull up the resistances. Okay. So we know about the local FRVP. We know about all that. I'm just going to take that off because I think everybody understands what's happening there, right? Let's just all agree that we understand what's happening there. Okay. And that could play a huge pivotal role. Now, the one thing I want you to see though, that point of control is also coinciding with the 200 moving average. It's just above it on the 4-hour chart. That is a key level. 50 moving average is right here. And guess where? Just under 85,000. That's why I'm saying 85,000, you got to hold it today. It is what it is. It's an extremely volatile day. You know, like, just is what it is, man. That's all I can say. So in any case, there's not much to write home about, okay? On the 4-hour chart, other than there was a bearish divergence, there's no longer a bearish divergence because this came up and set an equal high, okay? So that's no big deal. No big deal, right? The one thing you want to understand, though, is that you did get into overbought territory and now you're heading down and you could potentially cross under this signal line, and that's going to be bad news for Bitcoin as well. So what you want to see, if you're bullish, if you want to be bullish, if you want to be longing, you want to see a bounce. Obviously, I'm short. I've been right more times than not. If you've been watching this channel, you know what time it is. If you've been watching this channel, you also know that I am a verified pro trader on verifiedinvesting.com. There's only 6 of us in the entire world. We are all right here, okay? There's only 6 of us in the entire world. That's them. You might know who this guy is. He's pretty famous, Gareth Stalloway. In any case, my point is that more times than not, we are right. I do have an 82% win rate for a reason, and I'm not saying that to flex. I'm saying that because I'm saying I have data to back these thoughts up, right? So in any case, you do see the stochastics in super overbought, okay? And now it's curled down. It's got a signal line crossover. You saw the RSI in super overbought. It's curled down. It's about to get a signal line crossover or a signal line bounce. We do not know yet. The green dot is super old, super duper old on the 4-hour chart on Market Cypher. You can see how quickly these flash. Red, 1, 2 candles later, green. 1 candle later, red. 1, 2, 3, 4 candles later, green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. And we still haven't printed a red dot, but look at that VWAP curling downwards. Look at the head and shoulders on the money flow, right? Look at the head and shoulders on money flow heading downwards, right? And then you're about to clip this trigger wave. If it clips at the same time this goes under, this is bad news for Bitcoin. So watch that 4-hour chart. All right. That's my point. All right. Now, these rejections, not good news for Bitcoin. All right. I know everybody was super bullish about this, but in any case, we still have a lower high. All right. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'll show you. Let's get off this local FRVP. Okay. So here's your all-time high, right? Let's get this magnet tool off of here. Here's your higher low than this low, right? And this was a higher high than this high, right? Okay. So now you set a lower high than this high, and you set another lower high, right? And then guess what? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And you can even take both of these into account. Lower low, and guess what? Just barely sneaked out a lower high, okay? So if you get another lower low, you're coming down to about $74,000, $72,000. And there's a lot of liquidity still at $72,000. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's guaranteed to get there. I'm just saying that's where the liquidity is, okay? And we already swept all of this liquidity right here. This liquidity, it's all gone, okay? We took all of that right over here with this, all right? So where's the rest of the liquidity? Right here, right there. That's all liquidity. What does the market chase? Liquidity, right? Period. That's where people are going to have their stop loss on all their leveraged longs, okay? So take that into account, and then also understand that if we get under this, we are probably going to be coming down towards here, okay? So with that being said, that is the micro and macro downtrend that we are in right now. And if you don't believe me that we set a lower high, I'm going to show you. And we had a swing failure pattern there, by the way, which is another thing that I was talking about in the video, okay? So what's the high on this, right? Look at the high. It is 88,530. What's the high on this? 88,575, right? But was this the swing high? No, it was not. this was the swing high. And as you can see, we didn't hit it. We tried to turn around this swing high. So if we set a higher low here, somewhere in this range, right? Anything above $74,500 is a higher low here, and you could see us start pumping up. Obviously, you want to stay above $85,000, 84, call it 84.5, something like that. But you know, in any case, we'll see how it plays out. Now, secondarily, we know what's going on the 4-hour chart. Let's look at the hourly. Okay, as you can see, the hourly is looking a little head and shouldery. Okay, the hourly is looking a little head and shouldery. What's the head and shoulders? Boom, head, right shoulder, move down, right? And then you would just measure from about right here to the neckline, right? And then you just drag this over here. And guess where that could take you if you broke this neckline? Right here to $84,654. My take profit is actually set. I think one of them is set at $84,400, somewhere in that realm, right? So in any case, you got to watch out for that head and shoulders that could be potentially forming right here. All right, that's not great news. Now, what's the other thing that you have here? Well, let's turn these key levels off. This, my friends, you're getting like really high level TA for free right here, right now. Okay, that's called a fair value gap. Okay, so you tagged the top of it, but you haven't even come close to filling it. And guess where that's at? $85,300. The bottom end of that fair value gap is $85,300. So if you come through here and you bust through this level, bam, it's bad news for Bitcoin yet again. Like I said, you want to bounce from here. You want to bounce somewhere in here, okay? Somewhere probably in the $86,000 to $85,300 range, you want to see a bounce, all right? So that's where you want to see it come in, right? And then bounce. That's where you want to see it come in and bounce, okay? Now, also, what's inside of that zone? The 50 and the 100 moving average. What's below it? The 200 moving average, which is this green line. So it's indecision time right now, man. It's indecision time. But, you know, I'm not saying that I'm favoring downside, but obviously I'm favoring downside with my short position, okay? And I'm okay with losing. I am okay with losing on this. If we get above $89,000, I know that I've lost, and I'm fine with that, because guess what? As soon as we hit that higher high, right, and then we come back down here and we retest and then we go boom, right? I'm just going to enter longs, right? And then I'm going to make all that money back plus more, and that's when altcoin season is probably going to start, okay? So, you know, anyways, with that being said, you know, kind of show you what's going on. Now, what's this? What's this? Anybody know what that is? Drop it in the comment section if you know what this is. Price going up while the oscillator setting higher highs, while the oscillator is setting lower highs. What is that? Textbook bearish divergence happening at a rejection level, which is, yep, Dexter got it. Bearish divvy, baby. Happening at a rejection level here, and the rejection at the 200 MA on the daily chart, because we remember that the daily chart is there, right? The daily 200. So that bearish divergence, this is why I told people short at 80K. And if you shorted at 80K, I promise you, you didn't even have to get a perfect entry, man. If you shorted at 80K, you made 2% in about an hour. And if you had that on 10x leverage, you made 20%. You put 20K on that, you made 4K. You put 10K on that, you made 2K in 2 hours, man. You don't have to put big money on this. You put $1,000 on this. You made $200 in an hour, okay? And you're probably still in the position, holding it to see if we're going to continue to the downside. Same head and shoulders pattern right here. Same head and shoulders could be printing on the 1 hour chart, okay? You got a red dot. You got stochastics on the hourly are looking better. They are bottoming out, but that doesn't mean much because you've already got your bounce. You're rejecting off of the 21 SMA. And whenever you get this far outside of the SMA, the 21 SMA, which is a magnet, you always come back to it. That was another reason in this video that I was talking about in the Discord, right? In this video right here that I was, that's not it. In this video inside of the private VIP trading room, boom, I was talking about this, right? 21 SMA, you're going to snap back to it. Snap back to reality. That's what it really comes down to. Those are amazing artistic skills for a man with braids. We do our best, man. We do our best. So in any case, yeah, if you want to win, join the winning team, right? That's really what it comes down to. And Nordic Alpha continues stay winning. We stay winning, right? And there's 125 people on here. I can't imagine that out of 125 people, at least 12 of you don't want to win, right? So I would expect at least 12 of you I would expect to see at least 12 of you inside of here within the next couple of days, man. That's probably what's going to happen, you know, if you want to keep winning. And, you know, that's just that, you know. So in any case, that's what's happening on the hourly chart right now. I am short until we get above 89K. Okay. Now, let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. Again, let's zoom in just a little bit. Again, the 200 MA is right here at $85,000. So like I said, if you lose $85,000, man, it does not look good. It does not look good. What is this trend line for? Oh, that is for the bearish divergence. Yep. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. 100%. R. Gilbert, is that you in the trading room? Is that you? I think that was you that was in there. You bought like a year's membership or whatever. Tell me if that's you. If it's not, get in there. But if it is, you're a legend because you got in there before I even opened it up, which was wild. So in any case, where is this trend line? Where is this trend line? I need to find this trend line so I can delete it really quick. Just give me 1 second. What is it for? Why is there a trend line there? Oh, dude. Okay, that is the uptrend. Okay, so whether people want to admit it or not, we are still in an uptrend. Okay, we are still in an uptrend. So long as you stay above $80,000 over the next, I don't know, few days or whatever, you're still in an uptrend. Okay, now if you lose that, you are going to start getting into downtrend territory. Actually, this would be, you need to hold $79,000 through May, essentially, right? That's it. That's all it comes down to. You got to hold 79K. So let's look at the hourly. Let's see what's going on here. We did make a massive move, right? We did make a massive move above all of these moving averages, right? That's good news. Okay. Adrian Kent says thumbs up. Appreciate you. Oh, yeah. Buamio. I know Buamio is going to be in there. Buamio said he's just busy with a software project, and that's why he hasn't joined the community yet. No big deal, man. Come in whenever you're ready, dude. Come in whenever you're ready. But one thing I can say is I'm going to stop giving out as much on these streams. I'll still do the TA, but I'm going to stop giving out like as much TA and trades on the streams from a finite level. I'll still do and take people's requests. Like we're about to start getting into all the altcoins like Cardano and stuff like that. I'll still do high level TA for everybody. But if you want the real sauce, dude, you got to get into the Nordic Alpha Trading Discord. It's literally first comment in the comment section on Twitter, and it's the first thing in the description on YouTube. Also, show you what's going on with gold. So I closed out this trade, this legendary trade that I gave inside of the verified investing trading community. Where's that? I'll show you. Come on, man. Give it to me. So as you can see, I do analysis on gold every day. We call it the Daily Golden Nugget with Drew Wolfer, right? Here's kind of what I was telling everybody. You know, I was telling everybody, hey, you know, you need to be short in here. I said the same thing in here, right? Now, here's my point. There's a massive bearish divergence on gold, okay? Massive bearish divergence. I mean, RSI got up to almost 90 on the hourly chart, okay? Massive bearish divergence. Boom, boom, right? Set new all-time highs. Bearish divergence at all-time highs, extremely powerful, okay? Look at money flow. Money flow is starting to trickle downwards, right? It's setting lower highs, okay? As you can see right here, as evidenced by this, here's your high, here's your next high, here's your next high, right? So money flow is starting to, I'm just saying, $3,500, average in all the way up to there. Feel free to short it. I'm actually shorting it on BitGet right now via XAUT. XAUT, but it's not the highest volume on those pairs. So just be extremely careful when you're shorting on whatever it's called, like these centralized exchanges. If you want high liquidity in gold, you need to go to the real markets like futures contracts, and what a lot of people call Forex. So like, go to the Forex markets. Gold isn't Forex. Gold is a commodity, but we'll call it Forex because that's what everybody says now. Gold is a commodity. It's not a currency. Foreign exchange is the foreign exchanging of currencies. Whatever. Go listen to the ICT traders. They're all clearly way smarter than I am. They won't get you wrecked at all. In any case, called this out. We're shorting right here, right? I'll show you my short. We were in this channel. Okay, we know about the bearish divergence. We can get that off of there. I closed out this long. We took home 9% on this long on gold. We bought the bottom. We sold here. We sold here. We sold here. Legendary trade, dude. Legendary trade. We literally sold the top, and now we're shorting the top, right? And we've got our stop loss above $3,500. Okay. Now, why do I think that that's, well, get into the, actually, I'm not even going to give any more sauce. If you want to know why gold, the top is potentially $3,500, get in there and watch this stuff. Because like, I promise you, I'm teaching everybody the majority of the things that I know I'm teaching inside of there. Okay. And that's why we're shorting here. So in any case, you'll see, just get in there and hopefully I see you in there. And that's that. We're going to go now to SPX, because this one, again, I called this one out as well. SPX, called that out right here in equities. Okay. Here are the levels, potential shorting opportunity. And then guess what happened? Short target hit exactly on SPX. What was that short target? Right here. It literally gapped down into it. Here was where we said short, right here. Boom. You hit it like 2 hours before market close, right? And then bam, it gapped down to it. So, it might have actually overrun your profit taking, but, most likely most people took profit here. You could have just continued writing it down here, but you could be getting a potential double bottom here. Okay. What do I mean by that? Well, look at this. Double bottom, baby. Did you close a candle below it? Let's see. Do we have the magnet tool on there? You closed a candle literally directly on it. That is wild. The low is 51.0163. The low is 51.1527. Technically, not a swing failure pattern. Just a double bottom right there, man. I mean, could be potentially long city, right? You could be longing here from a double bottom. And this is exactly what I was talking about in this post today, right? Potential double bottom happening right here. And there's a secondary potential double bottom that could happen right here. Now, right here in this range. Okay. Now, if you drop below these levels, this is where you short. This is short city. You come all the way down here. Boom, bam, right? All right. So let's get into OM, which is Mantra DAO. I know that's what a lot of people probably came to see, what's going on with Mantra. So let's see if we got anything. Yeah, so I mean, Mantra's now losing its keyest level, right? Its most key level, it's losing it right now. As you can see, it's about to hit a 1.0 retrace. It is setting a higher low here, right? But honestly, probably bearish sentiment on Mantra for the most part. Let's see, where's this fib? Damn. Mantra's wrecked. This is your chart on Mantra, by the way. Everything else that happened before this doesn't matter anymore until you bust out of here. Okay. So until you bust up above probably, let's see. Yeah, until you bust up above these previous swing highs right here, which I'll show you on the hourly chart. These swing highs right here. Nothing else to the left of this matters until you take out this swing high. Okay. Now let's look at the fib. Yeah, look at the fib. Damn. Yeah, I think this thing's going to 28 cents, 28 and a half cents. I mean, I've been saying that for a while. No. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier, Boamio. So what we did was, I'll show you. What we did was we took the profits down there at like 84.3 or whatever, right? And then I did not catch the long. But then we re-entered the short up near $87,000 earlier today. So last night / today, right? So no, we took the profits, which is why you need to be in there, because you'll never have to ask that question, because you'll know when I take those profits and then it won't reverse on you and liquidate you, right? So yeah, swing trade, baby, swing trade. Or scalp trade. Yeah. Yep, 100%. So hopefully that answers your question. In any case, in my opinion, as long as you close this candle down here, you confirm below this level, this is short city, right? And what I mean by that, especially if Bitcoin's going down, you enter your short here, right? You place it above the 50 moving average, maybe. You can even place your short here if you really want to. But you're targeting like 28 cents here, man. Targeting 28 cents first. Call it 29 cents just to be safe. Put your stop loss above the 50. Boom, you've got a 5x risk to reward on this. If you reverse above this and then you get above here, this is when you can start thinking about longing, right? So if you reverse, you could think about longing up here, okay? And then you're going to be taking it all the way past these swing highs. But really what you want to do is take it up to these swing highs, right? So you're taking it all the way up to here. And then you're setting your stop loss below the 50 moving average, right? And again, 4x risk to reward ratio on Mantra. That's what's happening on Mantra right now. Hopefully that helps people. I don't know. We'll see. If you want like serious in-depth, high-level analysis, go into the trading community and ask me in there, because that's where I actually benefit from this by actually giving you like real deal Holyfield stuff. I'm not saying that I will cover everybody's requests in there, but you have a way better chance of me covering your request if you're paying to be in my group than just watching a free stream. Like I don't have to do anything on this stream. I can literally sit here and drink Aquapana water. Do nothing. You have a way higher likelihood of me paying attention of anyone paying attention when you're paying somebody to do it, is my point. All right, let's go. XRP. Wait, no. We had Kaito and ADA before that. Yeah, I mean, you had some good little long here. You brought it up to the swing highs. Boom. If you didn't take profit there, I don't know what to tell you. You're getting a secondary entry here. You got a secondary entry. Would I take this secondary entry? Probably not. Because if Bitcoin continues to go down, this thing's going to lose here, and then you're going to want to be taking this short, okay? So nothing has really changed except for the fact that this trade played out, right? And it didn't go all the way up to the swing highs that we wanted it to, which is these previous swing highs, but it did go up to the previous swing highs, right? Which are right here. Why is the magnet tool on messing up my stuff? It did go up to these swing highs right before you came down here and then broke above this. So, in any case, you could have entered here as well, because what do I always teach? Break and retest, baby. Break and retest. You would have gotten an even better trade there because your risk to reward would have been substantially higher, right? Because you would have been targeting, say you're targeting, you came up here, right? Your risk to reward would have been a 3x right there, 3.25. Whereas with this one is a 1.2 risk to reward, right? It is what it is. So, but you still made money either way is my point. But yeah, so that's Cardano in a nutshell. At the end of the day, that's what I'm still looking at on Cardano. You've got support here, 61 cents, 61 and a half. You've got support at about 59 cents. You start taking out these lows down here, guaranteed you're going to come down to 46 cents. You start taking out these lows, that's not going to be good, right? You're going to And if you take this out, you're definitely coming down to about 46 cents. That's Cardano. I don't know what Kaito is, but I feel like we probably have a chart on it. I feel like I've heard of this before. Oh, this is that one where it's done nothing but go down. Yeah, this is a rug pull chart, dog. This is the stiletto. This is the rug pull stiletto. Right? That's a stiletto if I've ever seen one. If you have a hot wife like I do, you know what stilettos are, man. And they are heels, okay? That is a stiletto all day, every day. I wouldn't touch this thing with a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't touch this thing with my buddy Devin's 10-foot pole and then blame it on my brother. All right? I don't know what these guys do. I have no interest in it because you are lower than you've ever been, right? Now, here's the good news. Can it get worse? Well, yeah, it can. You can go down to 68 cents, right? It can get worse. But in any case, I mean, this is legitimately just consistently trending downwards. Now, the one good thing that you have going for Kaito, right, is that you are in a trend channel, right? And these downward sloping trend channels like to break out, okay? And if you really want to get super technical with it, you're trying to break out of it right now, okay? So, did you get a confirmation? Oh, you're getting a break and retest right now. Dude, I mean, honestly, risk to reward, this is a good place to enter. From a purely technical perspective, that's your entry. You're getting your entry right now, so congrats and kudos to you for asking at the right time. Because I would be targeting probably these swing highs, and I would set my stop loss below the lowest moving average, which is right now the 200. Inside of this, you've got a 7.5x risk to reward, especially if you're looking for a swing trade here, right? If you're looking for a swing trade here, bang, there it is, right? You're going to have massive resistance right here that you've now flipped from key level support, right? You're going to have massive resistance right here at $1.27. You're going to have resistance here, right? Actually, probably more close to here. I'm altering my price target now that I see this. Okay, that's your new price target, is where these. Okay, now what do I mean by a pivot, right? Actually, you can drag this all the way over here. Look at this. This is where you went parabolic. You back tested it as support, and then you went up, right? And you just kept going up. Yeah, I can't talk, man. I'm on stream. All right, appreciate it. And then you back tested it yet again, right? Two more times, and then boom, back tested it again, again, and then finally massively fell through it, right? So that's going to be your pretty much your main level of resistance is this one right here, $1.27. That's what's called a pivot point. You pivoted this from resistance or from support to now resistance, right? Because that was a key level of support, as you can see by how many times you back tested it. Secondarily, this used to be support as well, bam, right? And you can even argue that this was it. This used to be support where you kind of were trying to find a bottom, boom, blasted through it, retested it as resistance, continued falling down. So that's why your price target is here to about $1.03, something like that. 5.84 risk to reward on that. You're welcome. Do what you want to do. All right. XRP, dude. I think XRP. I haven't looked at XRP actually. XRP, USD, boom. All right. Nothing. We got nothing, man. We've never gotten our entry. We're still just capitulating sideways. I mean, it is what it is, man. This is your entry level, $2, man. $2 is your entry level. Here's the bad news, right? You've lost the 200 moving average, and you're having a hard time regaining the 50. Now, you've regained the 100 right here, right? But, you know, this is an issue. This is an issue. This red line right here, this red line, kind of see it trending downwards, boom. You lost it. You regained it. Now you're getting really super tight on these moving averages, right? So I have no bias on this. I don't care what XRP does. Truly, I really don't care. But one thing I can say is that until you backtest this, right, I wouldn't be touching it. And if you can bounce from here and you take out these swing highs, that's where you start to get bullish. You take out these swing highs right here at like almost literally $2.25. That's where you start to get bullish. You start to think about a retrace. You take these swing highs out, you retrace back somewhere around here, you enter longs. That's what you do with XRP right now. Because as you can see, you've got a clear downtrend, right? You've got a clear downtrend on XRP. So until you break these levels and then ultimately break those highs right here, which is like a double top high, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Double top, double top, swing failure pattern, boom, dump, right? That's what happens. That's how it goes down. So with that being said, that's XRP in a nutshell right now for anybody that cares. SUI USD. SUI. All right. You're starting to get your movement. So you never got this entry. We can take that out. I don't think, I mean, you did get this entry, but it was a long time later. Did you get it? Probably not. You probably like gave up on that position before you ever got it. Where's the short? Yeah, we killed it on that short, man. Killed it on that short. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, kind of what I was talking about. If Bitcoin continues to go down, this is where SUI could be going, right? If it continues to go down, but Bitcoin caught its legs, right? And then kind of dumped out. SUI's got, $1.60 and $1.43 as, let's call it support. Okay. Now, where can you be entering on SUI? Well, let's show you what happened. Well, let's get this Fibonacci off of here. I do like that fib. Okay. 1 day chart. Probably it's probably on the 4 hour. We can show it. Yeah. Okay. So here's your downtrend on SUI, right? So up here, you tried to break it, right? Immediately got sucked back in. Okay. Now you're breaking it right now. And you have confirmed outside of it. As you can see, you tried to confirm outside of it here. You got sucked right back in. This is why you always wait for the confirmation candle. Because if you would have entered here, you'd gotten stopped out because boom, it just blasted right back into it. Same thing here. You're like, oh, it's breaking out. Nope, wrong. Boom, got just absolutely murdered, right? So now you have broken out. You don't enter here, okay? You enter here. You enter on the retrace to the scene of the crime like Gareth teaches, Gareth Soloway, right? One of the guys that you saw on that right here, verified investing community, all right? So here's your entry, right? This is where you have the least amount of risk. And that's why I tell you to enter here. You enter, what is going on? You enter here, and then you place your stop loss very, very tight, right? Say you enter here. I don't care. Essentially you want to enter anywhere above. Like once you start taking out these swing lows, it's not as good. But it is what it is. So my point is to say you enter here, right? You place your stop loss below the swing lows, or if you want to get really conservative with it, you place it below these swing lows, which I wouldn't recommend doing, but you're going to be targeting some serious upside here. You're going to be taking it up to these swing highs, right? So that's a 2x risk reward by itself. If you put it under these swing lows, boom. 13x risk reward on SUI. I might take this trade myself, actually. Let's see if we can get into that trade. But that's essentially SUI in a nutshell. You come under this, you're shorting. That's it. That's all. LRC by LD. Let's see what we got. LRC USD. Loop ring. I assume that's what it is. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Damn. Look at that doji. Got some topping tails printing here. 1, 2, 3, 4 topping tails. Damn. After a nice little move up too, right? Liquidity right here. Lots of liquidity right here. I don't know, man. Got a lot of topping tails here. Those are bearish candles. Damn, dude. Damn, LD. Damn. That's on the 4-hour chart. Damn. Yo, does this thing have very low volume? Dude. Yo. This thing was at $3.81, and now it's at 9.5 cents. I hope you didn't buy here. I mean, if you did, it doesn't really matter. You can't really lose that much more. You're down like 99%. All right, let's get into it. This is where it tried to turn around, right? But then you set a lower low. You set a high, lower low, higher high, but then a lower low, lower high, lower low. Damn, dude. I mean, this one's tough. This one's like short city. All you can really think about is like, how can I get out at a better price than I am right now? And that price is 24 cents, which is almost a 3x from here. That's damn good, right? 21 to 24 cents. That's your range right here. The 0.5 and the 0.7 or 618 FIB. That's your range right there. I mean, you could long it here. You're at the bottom for the most part. I mean, the bottom was what? 7.8 cents. You're about 20% above that. Yeah, I mean, that's still a lot of risk, dude, to even long it here. I mean, I would say if you double bottom here, this is where you'd long. And you would target the 0.5 fib. You'd set your stop loss like almost at break even almost, right? And you'd have like a 13. I'd say set it at like a 10x risk to reward, right? So like right there, you'd set your stop loss at about 6.5 cents. That gives you a lot of downside actually to target this upside. And once you get up there, man, I mean, you've taken out all these moving averages. Now, here's your problem. You're running up on the 50 right now, and you've been riding this 50 down this whole way. Bam, 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 bam. Right? So until that 50 curls up around, it's not looking good. You come under here, you're shorting. That's what it is. How dare you not give me free stuff? I'll send you Square Hospital Pizza pictures again. Dude, those pictures of the Square Hospital Pizza are diabolical. We like this type of pizza. Yeah, baby. Got the drip on it. All right, let's see what else we got here. Poor Devin. What did he do to you? Actually, it's actually funny. Devin is actually my real buddy that I've known forever. So I always blame everything on Devin. No. I mean, it's Stripe, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's Stripe. As long as, you can do it. It's Stripe. It's hooked up to Stripe, so you should be able to do crypto as well. An LRC, this one at 1 point. I have no idea. Never heard of it. I've never heard of LRC. Nice. All right. So with that being said, I mean, that's kind of where we're at right now, everybody. I mean, that's just what it is. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. You know, a lot of movement can happen in the time that you're gone. And not much did. It went up like $80. Yeah, I mean, I support my thesis, right? Shoulder, head, right shoulder, downwards movement to about $85,000, fills the bottom of the fair value gap, maybe bounces from the 200 moving average, right? That's where you would want to start thinking about, okay, 200 and 100 moving average is where you want to start thinking about, okay, is this thing going to, this is where I take profits. Is this thing going to continue longing, whatever. But you blow through this fair value gap right here and you come down here and you test this 200, it's not looking good because all you got to do is take out these lows right here at about $84,000 and you're like micro uptrend is canceled, right? So yeah, get below 85, bad news. Get above 89, good news. So with that being said, if you want high level insights, man, I can't stress enough. Get in here. Get in here right now. This is the literal lowest you will ever see the price in this trading room, right? I promise you this is the lowest you will ever see the price. All you got to do is go right here, take this, bang, click the link, boom, takes you right to it. You can get 5% off if you, oh, I don't know why it's not. There you go. In any case, yeah, there you go. In any case, you can get it for as low as $23.20 a month if you do the full, whatever it's called, 12 months, 6 months. You get 5% off 3 months, 10% off per month at 6 months, and you get 20% off at 12 months, right? And yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe I have to go into Stripe and turn on crypto payments, but in any case, it is what it is. I will see what I can do about getting crypto payments, but I wouldn't count on it. If Stripe's not letting it happen, it's not letting it happen. So, you know, it is what it is. But with that being said, hopefully everybody had a good weekend for Easter. Hopefully I see you in the Nordic Alpha Discord where we actually make gains and you don't have to like hope and pray that I'm going to do a stream that day. Because just like this weekend, man, I didn't do any streams. I'm spending time with my family. It's Easter. But you know how easy it is for me to drop a screenshot or a quick 2-minute video in the Discord? Very simple. Very easy. So with that being said, that's what I'm going to do. So I will see you all very soon. Everybody have a wonderful day. Peace.